We are live with another episode of BS Busters. And today, this BS Busters, we're all talking about the news of the week. So we'll be covering the direct and, a racist non-apology for using the N-word live, streamed to millions of people.
Makes me wonder who said that one.
Well, we all know who said it. We're gonna talk about it. And also the other news of the week and our opinions on it, video game news. So without much ado, let's have our panelists introduce themselves, starting with the lady first. Go ahead.
Salutations, ladies and gentlemen. This is Joy, Eli Moonstar, the Gaming Mage, and it's a pleasure to see you all.
And this is Piggy Dog from Video Game Facts. If I happen to suddenly go offline, chances are I might have gotten the blue screen of death, like last time.
Well, we'll hold a spot for you because we like people coming back. But with that being said, let's get into it. So let's get the direct out the way first because that's to me as a Nintendo gamer, that's the biggest news of the week. Just because it's Nintendo, a company we all love. Not that they can do no wrong. We just love them.
They do a lot more right than wrong.
Yeah. So, what stood out to us at the direct? What didn't stand out to us? What did we like? What didn't we like? What are we like? You know what? I don't need this. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to get this or whatever. So what stood out to us? What stood out to you guys?
Obviously, Super Mario Odyssey.
Well, yeah, but did you see Mario's bare chest? Really?
Do we have to keep saying that?
Well, that's what everyone's been talking about. I personally don't care because I just don't really care. But some people have been really talking about it. I don't really, like I said, I don't care. But a lot of people have been talking about it. So we have to, if people have been talking about it, we have to talk about it. That's how it is, okay?
Yep. Though I was more focused on his granddad outfit, aka his caveman Mario outfit.
Fair enough. So, what are you guys looking forward to in Mario Odyssey? The open world, the return of like traditional Mario platforming and not weird stuff like they did in
looking
Sunshine.
Forward to collecting all of the moons.
Oh God,
That's
a collection. That's a completionist nightmare, ladies and gentlemen. Those moons.
There's like 30 to 50 per level from what I saw. There's like a lot of them.
And as I said, that's a collection. That's a completionist nightmare.
Not really.
They say there are about 100 of them.
Probably in total, not for not per level.
This would mean that there would be 100 for each world, meaning there are only 6 worlds to travel through.
I think there's more than 6 worlds, though. I think the amount of stars varies. I think in the first world, it'll probably be like a manageable amount. And then after that, as you get further into the game, you'll get more stars because you'll have bigger worlds. I think. Don't hold me to that. But
all right. Fair enough.
My own little... That's my speculation. I can't be 100% sure because, I don't like making suppositions without evidence. Unlike some people in the YouTube gamosphere who just see something and run with it with no evidence, and then when they're wrong, they're like, "I can't believe Nintendo lied to me." No, you made a lot of suppositions, and
you hyped yourself up.
Yeah, you made a lot of suppositions, and you were wrong, and now you don't know how to deal with it because you just ran with it instead of actually, thinking things through. But that's not my problem. That's like Reggie says, not my problem.
Good one.
not my problem. People got mad when Reggie said that. I'm like, but that's such an awesome thing to say. People say, what are you going to do about this? That's not my problem. My problem is to work on this, So aside from Mario Odyssey, and we won't talk about his
Body.
his body, although his body may be ready for October 26th. I had to do that. So what else can we talk about with in the Direct that really surprised us? I know there's certain people who are looking forward to Pokemon Sun and Moon, Ultra, whatever.
Ultra.
It's Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Which
Ultra
I
Moon,
too
Ultra Sun, yeah.
Me, I got at least two. I got at least one game of interest for the Switch and the 3DS.
Fair enough.
For me, for the 3DS side, it would be the Kirby Battle Royale, and for the Wii use, for the Switch side, it actually be Arena of Valor. I'm actually interested in seeing how it grows.
The MOBA, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are a lot of games that looked good to me, but Pinky Don, what'd you see that made you go, well, I like this?
Oh, Fire Emblem Warriors, Lynn confirmed. Thus, disproving all the backlash about how the roster is going to be only Shadow Dragon, Fates, and Awakening.
Yeah, but Lynn is still an early game. I mean, she's the Game Boy Advance game, the Sacred Stones, which I think, if I remember correctly, the Sacred Stones was a remake of
Lynn first appeared in Blazing Sword, Fire Emblem 7, which is the first Fire Emblem game that came out in the U.S.
That was Sacred Stones. They called it something different here in America, but that was the first game she was in because she was the main character.
No, that would be Ephraim and Erica. Those two are the main protagonists of Sacred Stones.
Well, Lynn's in that one because she's the first. Because in the prologue, she's the character you play as mostly.
And see, another that surprises me is Doom. Of all games.
And I can hear it all now. Yay! Nintendo's no more kiddie because they got Doom and Wolfenstein.
Yeah, but every Nintendo console has had M-rated games, so
Yeah, and this is not the first time there's a Doom game on a Nintendo system. Anyone remember the
Doom was on the SNES, it was on the N64, it wasn't on the GameCube or the Wii, but I mean...
But there was a port of Doom on the GBA.
Yeah, but that was a really
I was gonna say, how the heck can somebody put Doom on there and keep it as such a good quality? Apparently they can't.
It wasn't good quality. Oh, which is ironic because they actually had Doom on they had Doom on not Doom. They had Duke Nukem on the Game Boy Advance, and it actually was a pretty good port for it being on the Game Boy Advance.
Also, it further cements the joke that any device can run Doom.
Yeah, I've seen Doom on graphing calculators, so technically you could put Doom on a Game Boy if you put your mind to it. You could do it. But that's how you make a successful franchise. It's what Capcom failed to realize when they instead
give us ports of games that are a few years old.
Well, no, what I was going to say, when they made Capcom 5 PS4 specific exclusive, that kind of that BS kind of hurt it a little bit, because the reason Street Fighter does well is because it's on a lot of stuff. It's not just on one console.
Yeah. Oh, and also another surprise: Minecraft in 3D.
For the 3DS.
For the new 3DS.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I really didn't care at that point. I was
seriously.
Like, no, the only reason I don't like Minecraft is that in order for you to play it, even on your Nintendo console, you have to create an Xbox account, an Xbox Live account. And
wait, seriously? I don't even own an Xbox One.
Yeah, but you have to create an Xbox Live account. And the thing is like if you have Windows 10 or Windows 8, like they make you do all this crap where you have to like go through their bullshit ass connections and stuff. And I don't want to do that. So
neither will I.
So I said, no, I'm not going to buy your stuff.
No kidding there.
I'm not buying it. I'm not getting it. I'm not, because basically as someone who has a Windows 10, not on my gaming PC, but on my home PC, I have Windows 10 and I just do not, I don't want, I'm not giving, I'm not, I refuse to give Microsoft that level of access to me. I refuse. I'm not doing it.
I'm pretty sure nobody does here.
And, you know, like Minecraft is not that good of a game where I would be willing to do that. You know, you need to have this account. No, 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 no. No. This is not happening. And I know some people are going to get mad and be like, but you have to support this. No, I don't. I don't need to buy.
Yeah, that's the real nasty thing that people say it's about us and third parties.
The only Minecraft-esque game I might get because I'm a fan of the IP is Dragon Quest Builders. That's it. That's the only one where I might be like, you know what, I might do this. But that's because I'm a Dragon Quest fanboy, so.
More than Minecraft. I mean,
and
yeah.
Speaking of Dragon Quest, are we supposed to get Dragon Warriors, Dragon Quest Heroes this year or next?
1 and 2. It's this year, I think.
Huh.
But I don't know when they're going to drop it because it's going to get swamped.
That's the thing that just.
Yeah, it's going to get swamped if they drop it.
I just remembered. When are we supposed to get another Dragon Quest for the 3DS soon?
Well, it already came out in Japan, so it's probably going to get ported over next year, you know, in English.
Okay, I was just wondering because I was remembering that two Dragon Quests were heading to the 3DS, and I know that we had one of them already arrive.
And another game we're excited for, Xenoblade 2.
Yeah, that game's just gonna.
I'm kind of mixed with that because it's quite a great story as far as I could tell. Though I could tell the gameplay is going to get highly complex real fast.
Yeah, but if you love RPGs, that type of stuff just. I love complex, deep, meaty combat systems. Like I love stuff like that. So this is.
I'm kind of mixed with it because I like depth in my RPG games, but if it takes a mini book to explain the basics of the RPG game, there's a bit of a problem.
Well, as long as you play the first Xenoblade Chronicles X, you should have no problem with the basics. You just have to focus on the new stuff.
The funny thing is, I consider Xenoblade as difficult as Monster Hunter for me.
Really? For me, Xenoblade, if you ground enough, wasn't that bad. Xenoblade to me really got hard when it was in the late game. And when New Game Plus, where you basically had super monsters just wandering around waiting to stomp your ass, that was kind of tough. But aside from that, it was a relatively not that bad if you knew how to grind your characters in a certain way.
I still have yet to finish the original because I've been busy doing those side quests for experience points.
Fair enough.
So I need to finish that up before I could start playing Xenoblade 2 as well as Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Well, at least if anything, as I said earlier for you guys, I'm going to be getting into Monster Hunter stories soon enough. So That'll at least be my first exploration into a game series.
That RPG goodness. Yes, I'm an RPG fanboy.
Wasn't Xenoblade 2 set confirmed to be a prequel to the first game, or is it a standalone?
It might be a standalone as far as I could tell.
I don't know. Like, here's the thing. They never really, from what I heard from the guy who made it, he's like, look, this game is its own thing. It just uses a lot of the same themes. It has a lot of the same thematic themes that the other Xenoblade Chronicles games have had, but it's not, like, in any way a direct connection to the two. So that's what
By the way, be right back. I'm gonna go eat dinner.
All right.
All right.
So, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking. I don't really think, like, I'm not thinking that the game is really like a new thing or anything like that. But that's just my own personal opinion.
That's a tricky call, at least to me.
Well, I mean, I personally prefer it that way. Like, I don't want for Xenoblade, I don't want it to be one continuous story, because after a while it gets kind of stale. Whereas if they do something new with Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I like that.
That I could agree on. I mean, if a story goes on, if a series has a continuation or a sequel to it, there should be at least a way to tell the difference. I mean, do every Final Fantasy need a Buster Sword in it?
Yes. because Cloud had a Buster Sword, therefore everyone needs to have a Buster Sword or a gun sword, or or as I call it, the Buster Sword. For me, I call the Buster Sword the overly compensating for a lack of something sword. Because that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
But no, we don't need more. We don't need more. Like, personally, it's kind of like Final Fantasy. I like that Final Fantasy was released and was its own thing, and wasn't like just this one one
continuation.
Yeah, like, I like that. I mean, kind of like how Xenoblade Chronicles is, which ironically, Xenoblade Chronicles is made by Monolith Soft, which is made of the people who used to make those Final Fantasies that we all know and love. Like, basically, each Xenoblade game is its own thing, but there's certain themes and battle systems that are shared between all of them, but it's its own thing. And I love that, because you can tell a different story, but the battle system is close enough that it's familiar. What I don't like is them trying to tell this continuous story. It's like, why? Why are you doing this? You aren't that good. But that's just me.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I am strong like beer. But yeah, I mean, that's what I think. Could I be wrong? Yes, but that's my own personal opinion, and I make no apologies for it. But I don't know. I would say I'm looking forward to Pokemon, but I'm not. That'd be a lie. I'm not looking forward to Pokemon. I don't really care about Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
I'll let you go on that one before I follow up on it with my own opinion.
I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna say something that's gonna make some Pokemon fans, current Pokemon fans, angry who like Ultra Sun and Moon. I think that they got the formula right for people like me with X and Y, where breeding and leveling up your Pokemon was easier, so you could get to the meat and potatoes of Pokemon, which is fighting. I know that sounds terrible, but really everything about Pokemon is built around the concept of making them fight other Pokemon. And the easier they can make that happen, the better it is. Whereas Sun and Moon, they're like trying to give you a story, and well, it's not really. You don't really have to fight. It's like, look, you're getting in the way of yourself.
Thank you.
I mean, you know, and they kind of messed up on that one. So I'm like, I really don't care about. I give less than, like, literally there isn't a word that has been created that can convey how little of anything I care about sun and moon. And to tell you the truth, I traded my 2 copies in after I beat them. I was like, yeah, this isn't for me. X and Y, I still have my X and Y, but Sun and Moon, this is the first Pokemon game I've ever traded in and physically said, you know what, I don't want to play this game. That is terrifying.
Yeah, gives me a sense of regret knowing what's going to happen with Ultra Sun and Moon.
Well, I mean, if they add the stuff that they had in X and Y into Ultra Sun and Moon, I might get it, but chances are they won't. So why should I buy it?
Especially when it's almost been under a year.
Well, I mean, it's like they didn't learn their lesson.
Yeah. That's the real scary part. Especially for somebody like me that does follow the thing. And the worst of it is, it's going to be the competitor's norm when it drops.
Well, just for me personally, I think they had it done well with X and Y. I think X and Y, because X and Y was new enough and had enough new features to make it to show you to show you the future of where Pokemon should be going. And yet it had enough old stuff to appeal to people like me who were like, you know, I really like, you know, Gen 1, Gen 2. Well, and they were like, we have the best of both worlds, X and Y, and they hit the sweet spot. And then they messed it up with Sun and Moon. Well, actually, they started with Alpha Sapphire and
Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah, Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby. But I'm like, you messed it up. You messed it up.
It wasn't a big mess up on Auras, but if anything, it wasn't showing any real signs of going terrible to me on that point.
Well, I mean, they went backwards. I mean, that's the thing. They just went backwards, and it's like X and Y was such a big step forward, and then they went backwards with Orange, with Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. It's like, why'd you go backwards? You should have been moving forwards, and you went backwards. You dumb people.
I was gonna say, I didn't feel it went backwards, but it was more like trying to retell the tale of Auras. I mean, Ruby and Sapphire.
They just went backwards to me. Like they should have been moving forwards, and they went backwards, and I don't like that. I don't like that they just kind of lost. You know, they lost their way almost, and I'm not cool with that. So
yeah, and it sounds like you're getting called off.
No, that's my cell phone ringing for no apparent reason.
Anyhow, to move on before we get too far, all this Kirby, I'm actually pleased about it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too.
I mean, we get another Kirby Royal Rumble of sorts. No, that's what's coming to the 3DS soon. I was thinking of the other title that was
Star Friends, Star Allies, whatever.
Yeah, Star Allies. Yeah, that's the other Kirby game.
That's the one I care about. Like, I'm not like, oh my god, like the one that's like a battle arena game. I'm like, nah, I can take it or leave it. But
I actually like it because, if anything, that was actually pretty fun, especially considering I played it on I played a version like that of Triple Deluxe on that. Oh yeah, that's right, Kirby Fighters.
Yeah, I mean that looks cool, but I'm telling you what I'm really looking forward to. That mainline Kirby game on the Switch.
Huh.
I'm totally looking forward to that game.
That I could agree with you on. Besides, if anything, I like all the combination possibility that's about to drop into us. And if anything, as I said, I like the small taste of Kirby that we're going to have on the 3DS before we get the big stuff on the Switch.
See, that's the thing. Like I like the game that's coming to the Switch is what I've wanted from a Kirby game for a long time. You know, where it's like a big, huge Kirby game.
And here's the funny part that I'm gonna have a good laugh about: the Kirby the Kirby Fighters Deluxe or the Kirby Arena, whichever you prefer, is more 3D than the Kirby Star Allies.
Yeah, but I mean, Kirby really does. Kirby really does his best when he's in a
2D plane.
Yeah, I don't think 3D is really gonna.
And people keep on wondering where is the 3D Kirby when we want it. Well, we do got it in Blowout Blast. Though I think they were crying for the real thing.
I just don't think that. I don't know. Like me personally, I just prefer my Kirby games to be 2D. 3D is fine for spin-offs, but for like straight up like Kirby, unless they're gonna do a massive open world exploration game where you play as Kirby, and that'd be cool. But would we get that? You know.
You know, that would be a topic for some of us someday.
You know, would we get a massive open world Kirby game where you can explore and discover things and find enemies and kill them horrifically? I mean, eat them and steal their powers because that's what Kirby does. I mean, you know.
I was at least gonna say, Kirby getting told by Kirby is at least is the quickest way of getting destroyed.
Well, he is a pretty terrifying individual. I mean, he does devour people's souls and enslave them in order to make them. I mean, in the new game, he just he throws hearts at people, but that's they just made it nice because it's too horrific to think about this creature absorbing your life force and turning you into a slave until he wishes for you to go away. They don't want to deal with that. That hardcore truth. They're like, no, Kirby's cute. People like him. Like Kirby is terrifying.
Here's the thing. Kirby is both cute and a menace.
Kirby is terrifying. And the sooner they acknowledge that Kirby is terrifying, the happier they'll be. And stop trying to make him into this.
As I said, he's both cute and a scary force of nature at the same time.
I consider him to be terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
Kirby is anything I could agree with you on that.
Kirby is one of the most terrifying creatures I've ever seen. I mean, he can devour and eat people and take their powers and abilities. That is terrifying. Kirby is Majin Buu. Kirby has the ability to focus and punch a planet in half with one hit. And here's the scariest thing of all. He's only 3 years old. Well, he has the mentality of a 3-year-old. So
yeah, makes you wonder who's teaching this little thing how to fight.
I don't know, but apparently he's the same race as
Meta Knight.
So whatever that race is, they are terrifying.
Yeah, if Meta Knight's dangerous already, he's fully grown up, and Kirby's a menace and with a mentality of a 3-year-old.
It's terrifying.
You might want to be sure to find a place that doesn't allow them to travel your way.
people keep on acting surprised. I can't believe Kirby. Yeah, I can totally believe Kirby is terrifying because he is.
I can believe Kirby's terrifying, but the antics, I just gotta say this. Just be glad that it doesn't provoke something worse.
But anyway, I guess it's time to move on to the other news topic of the week. Because I think we've all pretty much drained the Nintendo Direct. So I guess we can now talk about the other stuff that came out this week, which is the other news of the week.
And I'm going to say the first one of them right off the bat.
Go ahead.
Capcom, why are you giving us such beeping low support when one of the worst third parties that work with that would ever want to even think about working with Nintendo is giving us an old game?
Bethesda?
Yes. And not just one, but two, if I got it right.
Yeah, they're giving us Doom, which is an old game from 2016, so that's not that old. It's a year old. But they're also giving us Wolfenstein 2, which is a new game. That is a new AAA game. So yeah, I mean, like, why is a Western company giving Nintendo gamers better third-party support than a Japanese third party?
Yeah, that makes me wonder.
That's a little embarrassing.
And I'm not sure how new the Wolfenstein game is because well, I certainly know that it probably went to the other consoles first.
What, Doom?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it came to PC. Okay, let me put it this way. It came out like this time last year, so I'm not like the fact that the Switch wasn't out this time last year. So them bringing it took them about a year to port it over, like a year to 6 months, 6 months to a year. I'm not that upset by it. But Wolfenstein 2 has been in development for a while, and the fact that they're porting that over to the Switch is amazing because that's a brand new game. And that's the type of third-party support we deserve. I mean, we deserve that type of third-party support for the system. It's like there is no excuse for people putting shitty, well, the system's not powerful enough. Well, the system is compatible with most of the engines that are used to make games these days.
I was going to say that it's been able to work with mostly any engine.
I mean, well, most of them. I don't know if all of them, but most
I said
of them,
mostly.
Most of them are, can be used. I mean, there's, it takes Unreal, the latest Unreal. It does Unity. It does Lingua. I mean, it does most of the major programming languages it can handle. And so the only thing that's preventing these companies from putting their full game on there is just effort. Will they put the effort forward?
And mostly we see a big no.
Well, from the Japanese developers. I mean, not actually, I shouldn't say that. We're seeing maybe some of them, a few of them.
Yeah, I can imagine how some of that's going with some people. Though I'm surprised of some of the third party support that we gained already. I mean, at least the ones that I didn't expect, at least.
Could be. Like I said, it's like some of them are very iffy. Like, okay, Bandai Namco is putting games on the system. No AAA games, but I mean some decent games. Stuff like that. Capcom is dropping the ball. Excuse me. Continue. I have to take this phone call real quick.
Okay. Let's see. If I think about it, we got some weird ones from Bethesda. We got some weird ones from Ubisoft. My least favorite in a sense. And considering we even get in Rocket League for a third party, that actually is pretty surprising. Huh. Though then again, I actually wonder what is the weirdest third party to ever come across our screens. Sorry, a little adjustment. Trying to think real quick. Let's see.
Back. What did I miss?
We're on the topic of what third parties are doing with the Switch, and right now I was talking about how there's a lack of third parties from Western developers. I mean from Eastern developers, and surprises from the West. And I was trying to think of a few. Mind giving me a hand?
Let's see. Did you already mention Ubisoft? And EA?
The EA? I got a shiver about that because I know how they are with the sports games and how trubbish they are.
And Activision? I don't think they were mentioned at the Direct. Have they?
Not that I know of. Though if anything, the one Eastern what third party that I recognize in a sense to really show up? Sega.
What, they showed Sonic Forces.
Yeah, and that's on edge with me.
True, with all the OC Do Not Steals and Infinite Edge.
I was gonna say, Do Not Steal, Infinite Edge, Lord. And of course the EA garbage.
And now I have to go take a quick trip to the restroom.
Thank you very much. Oh yeah. Quick side note. I'm actually surprised that we are getting so many third parties that are supposed to be advertising their games on the Switch.
Well, it's just surprising that we're getting quality third parties. Like, we aren't getting a lot of shovelware and garbage, which I'm surprised, because normally when Nintendo gets third-party support, it's bullshit. You know.
I was gonna say it's under $500,000, and they expect it to make $3 million.
Well, like I said, normally when we get stuff, I don't mean like sales wise. I mean, we get garbage from third parties. Like, we get like 3, 4, 5-year-old ports with no extra content. It's just a port, and then they're like, "Well, why didn't people buy it?"
I thought it was going to be lack of content.
No. Why didn't you buy it? No, it's either missing content or it's just the base game, and they're like, well, why didn't you buy it? Because a lot of the people who own a Nintendo console have other systems, and if anyone who really wanted to play this game already bought the damn thing. So why are you expecting it to sell gangbusters now?
Especially when you are selling it at the same price as it was on its launch day.
You know, exactly. Now, if these games were cheaper, I'd be like, okay, I can understand that. But you're selling at the same price? Yeah, you did it to yourself. So I guess the next news we have to go over is obviously the big elephant in the room, which is well, I mean, this actually happened this week. Well, actually, it happened last week, but this week the culprit tried to sidestep the issue. So last week we had BS Busters, and I said that breaking news: Felix Kjellberg, aka PewDiePie, used the N-word in a video game gameplay stream.
Huh.
And then a few days
Oh,
later,
that idiot.
yeah, then a few days later, he did his non-apology apology, where I'm sorry if I offended anyone. No, I'm sorry if you were offended by what I said. It's like, wrong thing to say, young man. Wrong thing to say. He's like, well, it was a heat of the moment type thing. I've played a lot of competitive type games. Back in the day, I played a lot of arcade games. I played a lot of like some tough.
You played high competitive games at times.
Yeah, I played some very competitive games. Never was I playing one of these games and said, you know what, I'm gonna call this person a racial slur. Never, not once.
One of my Sky friends has encountered plenty of people online using the N-word when he's playing Overwatch and other FPS games on PC.
And that is just as inappropriate. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah,
first of all, you really shouldn't be saying anything that's really like negative over the thing anyway. But calling someone the N-word is never acceptable. And even if you're saying, well, it was a heat of the moment, there is no heat of the moment in a video game. Okay, let me put this way. The only way I could say it was the heat of the moment is if you're one of those people in South Korea who play games competitively for like $300,000, $400,000, $1 million plus pots, and you make a mistake and you curse to yourself. Okay, that's a high pressure situation because there's actual real stakes involved. But this dude, like they showed the little thing where he says it. There's nothing high pressure about what's going on there. A dude literally, he shoots at him. The guy dodges and then keeps on firing back, and he's like, just says it. I'm like, dude, you just don't get it. You don't get it.
Yeah, and he thinks it's unfair that PewDiePie is getting the attention of not everyone, not the other people online because he's famous. Because as you said, nobody should ever say the N-word because of how offensive it is.
Exactly. I mean, you shouldn't say it, but then, like, okay, people are jumping on PewDiePie because not only is it wrong, but like his excuse is so lame that it's like, this is bullshit. It was the heat of the moment. Really? No.
If that's what you say in the quote unquote heat of the moment, where's the vocabulary for your normal talk? That's what I'm wondering.
And when I told my little cousin about this news, he thinks that the only people who are offended by this are white people because he has a black friend and he wasn't bothered by PewDiePie saying the N-word.
Well, yeah, I've heard young black kids. Well, maybe it's like, no, there's never an excuse to use the N-word. Even like, and I'm one of those people that I'm a black person. I don't want another black person calling me the N-word, even if they try and say, well, I said it with a GA and he said it with an ER, so it's different. No, you don't get to use that word to me or around me. You want to know why? Because the word, first of all, I know people are like, we're going to claim that word and change its connotative meaning by using it differently. Yeah, but, I'm an educated person and I know what the word means, where it came from. It came from the Spanish word for black, Negro, or Negro, depending on how you want to say it.
It's like how people are using the word autistic as an insult.
Yeah,
and I'm a person who has
yeah, it means something completely, but that's what it originally was for. That's what they used it for, to describe the color of the skin, and then that became synonymous with the people. And then when the Atlantic slave trade got big and people started, slaves were imported to the South, the English colonists basically mangled the Negro and Negro pronunciations into the word that we know today that's used to degrade, and it's them basically calling you property. It's dehumanizing someone. So why in the world people are like, oh, that was the heat of the moment type thing? It's offensive. It's even the word slave is offensive, because really, slave, indentured, forced servitude comes from the term for the root term for Slavic people who had been invaded and enslaved so many times that eventually their very name of their tribes, the group name for the tribe of Slavic people, became synonymous with being a slave. And that's where the name comes from. Slaves, Slavs. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people making excuses for bullshit because it's not a big deal. Yeah, it is.
And also another example, I thought the word trap is also a detriment for the trans community, because and if that were the case, the anime community will be considered transphobic for using the word trap to describe anime men who look and dress up like girls.
I wouldn't know about that. That's something I'm not really familiar with, because I'm not familiar with that community. So I wouldn't, I don't want to make a suggestion or put my opinion out there because I'm not familiar with the community. And I have a lot of gay customers and transgender customers and intersex customers and cross-gendered cross-dressing customers. And I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, because I've been told from someone from a forum I go to, they told me, and described to me that the word tribe is the trans equivalent of the N-word for blacks.
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know that either.
I wouldn't know because I've never heard it used in a derogatory way, but I don't hang out with those type of people who would use that derogatorily, so I don't know.
And I hope you never have to hang out with them ever at all.
But that's neither here nor there. All I'm saying is this: that people need to understand that they can't be aggravating, whiny little you-know-whats. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So with that being said, that was just part of the news of the week. We covered Capcom's bullshit, where literally multiple Western companies are giving more support to the Switch than Capcom is, and Square Enix's bullshit, where, we already know about that. So, Square Enix, just so pathetic.
Now we move on to any video game news from the week.
Yes, well, we covered part of it, which was the Direct. We covered PewDiePie's bullshit. We covered Capcom's bullshit. We covered Square Enix's bullshit. What else is there left?
Well, there is
Bethesda.
there is the leak about the full list of DLC characters for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. On Capcom's side, it's Sigma, the Monster Hunter, who is a female, and Gil from Street Fighter 3. And on Marvel's side, it's Venom, Black Panther, and the Winter Soldier. And the leak also mentioned that there's going to be an arcade mode, and the final boss would be Ultron Sigma, and has a final phase called Ultron Omega, which also got leaked in photos from when people broke the embargo, broke the street date, and showed off the leaks on Reddit. It just shows Sigma's head being surrounded by veins behind his head, with Ultron on top. And you'll see it once the leaks come out online. And also mentioned that Ultron Sigma will be playable if you beat the story mode in both difficulties. And that's about it from the leak.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, Capcom's done this before, haven't they? They did it with Street Fighter 4. They did it with Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I mean, this is what they love to do.
Making a playable final boss.
No, having all this extra nickel and diamond people with DLC.
Ah, I see. And going back to Gil, it mentions that he'll retain all of his moveset from Street Fighter 3, including Resurrection.
Oh, you said what I think you said?
Yep, Resurrection. That one move that every Street Fighter player hates.
No!
But the good news is you can only use it once, and you cannot use Resurrection again after the first time in each battle. And it wastes up about 3 bars.
I was about to say, that's still bad because that is still equal to the fact that he had to get a full gauge when you KO'd him the first time you ran into him. At least now he has to get 3 bars in order to be fully healed.
Yeah, and people are, and I've seen a few people in the comment section reflecting getting PTSDs from Phoenix from Marvel vs. Capcom 3, like how all it requires 5 a maximum gauge to go to Dark Phoenix and ruin everyone.
Oh, Dark! If only they knew of Paris Lisa. Oh God, they would be crying in tears of pity and shame. Let me just say this: she'd probably stomp you so bad that the game would have to help you defeat her.
I don't know. I'm not a huge, I mean, look, for me, Marvel vs. Capcom is basically just an arcade-style game. Like, I know a lot of people play it. Like, to me, it's basically Capcom's version of a Smash Brothers game. It's basically, because they used to have a real Smash Brothers-like game, Power Stone, but they don't support that anymore. Basically, Marvel vs. Capcom's like Smash. It's a dream matchup of different characters beating the shit out of each other. Not really to be taken seriously.
Oh yeah,
even though they are unbalanced.
Also, there's going to be a free Spider-Man DLC for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite by pre-ordering Spider-Man Homecoming on Blu-ray.
Yeah, that's not free. Because you have to pre-order a Blu-ray in order to get it. That's not free. Yeah. Basically, anyone who wants Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, just wait a year until when they come out with the Millennium Edition or the Infinite Edition or whatever, and just get it then with all the DLC.
Yeah, this is not the first time a company has done that. Warner Brothers did this with Green Lantern, where if you buy the Blu-ray, you'll get a Yellow Lantern costume for Batman at Arkham City.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Just don't buy this stuff day one. Just wait.
At least hold off until you know what's coming.
No, just wait. Don't. People need to stop buying things day one. That's all I'm saying. They need to stop buying stuff day one. And I've said this before. People get mad when you say, "How dare you? How dare you?" I mean, you should accept it. Stop buying stuff day one. Wait. And I know a lot of people are going to buy this because it can't be as bad as it can't be as bad as Street Fighter 5, and it can't, because Street Fighter 5 should have been a lesson to Capcom about that, but
apparently not.
No, I really do think this is not going to, because for one thing, it's on multiple consoles. It's not just on the PS4. So
That should be some good news.
Right, and they've already begun to figure out that we can't we can't just be doing stuff.
Speaking of Street Fighter 5, I don't think we mentioned about the new character that was added in the roster, Menet, everyone's favorite new waifu.
No, we didn't, because
I don't
think anyone here cared.
I was gonna say that girl deserves a better fighting game.
Yeah, I mean, I really love her as a character as well as her moveset, especially her costumes. I mean, she looks like a better mummy character than the actual mummy from the Tom Cruise movie.
I was gonna say
that movie was
Skullgirl's mummy has that girl beat.
I think that movie was garbage. I mean, that movie was not good. It was, and then how Warner Brothers was how Universal was so desperately trying to make it like we're gonna create the dark universe. I was like, no.
I was gonna say you're pulling a Samus with that one.
No. You don't get to make a dark universe.
And I think that's about.
I was making a call to the Bethesda.
What about Bethesda? Their shitty creation club?
More like how people are fighting back against it now.
Well, people are complaining. That's basically what they're doing. They're complaining about.
I mean, there's some people that are complaining about it. There's some people actually trying to get their modified stuff off of that system entirely.
Oh, another breaking news: Snipper Clips is getting a physical release.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Though I feel sorry for the people that got it early.
And it comes with new levels as well.
Yeah, well, they have remixed levels, not really new levels.
Oh yeah,
but
yes, and one other there's a new controversy regarding Dragon Ball Fighters. An OC character is being added to a roster called Android 21.
I was gonna say, who let Donut steal into the game making industry?
Anyway, yeah, I mean the whole Bethesda thing. I think Bethesda did what they needed to do, and blah 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 blah. As long as people don't support it, I think it'll eventually fail on its own. Their creation club, because I mean,
yeah, I don't think I'll ever use Creation Club at all. Even if it does arrive on the Switch for their versions of Doom and Wolfenstein.
Well, the Creation Club is primarily about Bethesda Softworks things. Bethesda's publishing, well, actually, Nintendo's publishing Skyrim on the Switch. So I don't think Skyrim on the Switch is going to have mod support or Creation Club because, space issues. You need a certain amount of space in order to do modding, and this is Nintendo, and I don't think they're going to have it. So if you really want to play Skyrim, if you really want to play Skyrim and it's not $60 at launch, which it might be because this is Bethesda and Nintendo and they like charging people for old ass games sometimes. If you absolutely have to have a Skyrim to go, a portable version of Skyrim, full game with all the DLC and everything, with a few extra bennies, good. But if you want the best version of Skyrim, you have to get it on PC where you can mod the hell out of it and add new stuff and do total world conversions and stuff. So.
Wait, I'm just reading that Majora's Mask thing just came out last month, August. Oh wait, or was that already released like a few days ago?
What, Creation Club or?
The Majora's Mask Link amiibo.
I don't know.
Because I'm looking for whatever video game news is out there. Yes.
Pardon me for leading the way right now, but I'm not sure if we have anything left right now.
No, I don't think we do either. I think we've exhausted most of the core topics, and I mean that's just the way it is sometimes. Sometimes we have big weeks, sometimes we have small weeks. This was a small week. I mean, we covered everything. Anything anyone wants to pimp out before we wrap things up? Anything.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about the Mario Party Top 100, haven't we?
Oh boy!
I think I can say this. I think I can say this safely. Just one thing I'm gonna say. F that game. There you go.
Oh, I got something for you.
Go ahead.
I got a big middle finger and a boot with salt to eat.
Well, I mean, to be fair, look, the reason I don't care is just because I really just don't care about they still won't give people what they want. They're like, all those mini games that hurt your hand, now you can have them in higher definition, in higher resolution. It's like you don't get it. People want a Mario Party that's online. People want a Mario Party that's online, has single boards.
I was going to say, you got one of your wishes at least.
What?
How's online gonna work?
It doesn't. It doesn't. No, this game isn't online. It has multi-player play. It's not online.
It actually said it had online play.
It doesn't have online play. It has multi-cart play where you can one cart is you can beam the little mini game to other DSs, but it's not online play. I mean,
hold on a second. Let me check something real quick because something tells me because if I'm wrong, I'm likely going to be regretting it either way.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I don't think it has online play. I really don't.
Yeah, looking at the box cover, and it doesn't show any online. Doesn't show any online symbols.
I don't think it has online play. I really don't.
That's the funny thing because it's okay. I was a bit wrong because if anything, I thought I would have it though. If anything, I noticed.
That's the thing. They will not do what people want to see.
But here's the thing. I still gotta laugh about it because I know the moment people get online, there's gonna be disconnects with it easy, and that means that the game's gonna be failed.
No.
Yes, it will.
No.
Yes.
If no, because Nintendo has a better online now than they did during the Wii era. They could totally make because the most taxing thing on the online would be the mini games. That's it. That's the most taxing thing. Like the board wouldn't be that hard because all that is just data. Randomized data. The data is being held. That could be peer to peer for that. And even you could do like general servers for the actual, the hard work of, the mini games and stuff like that. But no, Nintendo will not do what people want to do. And Mario, like, I'm not saying get rid of local multiplayer because that's
Yeah.
Mario Party. Mario Party at its core is a local multiplayer game. But the thing is, how often are people going to have 4 or 5 people over to play Mario Party? Not very often. So by now, you would think they would say we need to have an online version
And I get
of
to
Mario
still
Party.
laugh about that.
But
Because
how is an online Mario Party supposed to work?
that's the thing that I get to laugh about. That people keep on wanting the online multiplayer, and yet they don't give it to them, which I gotta laugh about.
How is it gonna work? Like basically like any other online game. Like basically you would choose.
Not quite.
No,
you know that if it has
no.
board game power, that
Well,
means
okay.
it's gonna be.
It wouldn't have voice chat, or maybe no, you could have voice chat for a Mario Party game because it's a party game. It's meant to promote that party-like atmosphere. You choose your character. You go to the board. You choose a board. You could basically choose the board by people, picking a board like from a selection, like maybe like 4 boards, and each of the people choose, or 3 boards. Each of the people choose one of these 3 boards. And if you've got like 4 people playing, or 5 people playing, or 6 people playing, because this is online, you can have more than 4 people playing at one time. Like whichever board gets the most votes, that's the board you're playing. You play that board, you roll your dice, you make it to get the stars or whatever, whatever the rules of that board are, whatever. I haven't played Mario Party in a long time.
What if someone disconnects?
Then the AI would take over your character. Which at the end of the day doesn't really matter because it's a virtual dice roll. There's no trick to it or anything like that. It's a virtual dice roll. And then you could come back in if it's legit, you dropped. If you were getting your ass kicked and you unplugged the thing because you were getting your ass kicked, to mess up the game for everybody else, well, your character drops out, becomes a ghost. I don't know. Yeah, you could totally make it
Reason
work.
why I still laugh at you about that, because that's not going to happen.
They could do it.
They ain't going to do it.
They don't want to do it, but they could do it. I mean, there's a lot of things where we don't think Nintendo could do it that they could do it, that they just don't want to do it. That's all it is.
I mean, it's the same argument I hear, like how they should make Pokemon as open world as Breath of the Wild.
They could do it. I'm not saying they should do it. I'm just saying they could do it.
Yeah, and spit in the face of everyone that thought otherwise.
Like I said, they could do it.
They ain't gonna do it.
They could.
They ain't.
They could.
Not in a million years.
What, they wouldn't make an open? Okay, I'll tell you what. They make an open world Pokemon game or a online Mario Party game that has online features. That's not heavily, but maybe 50-50 online. You're gonna have to sing "I'm a Little Teapot" on air live.
For you or the both of us?
Okay, there goes my laugh.
Well, moving along.
Anyway, yeah, they could totally do it.
Anyone wonder why they didn't show a trailer of the second DLC for Breath of the Wild?
Because they're still working on it, probably.
Likely.
Or like at this point, no one really cares because Nintendo got their $20, so it doesn't really matter.
I was gonna say, wouldn't you mean 30 if you count the Amiibo 4?
I'm just saying they already got their money. I mean, like, here's the thing. Because in order for you to even get the DLC, you have to pay for the season pass, which is $20. Nintendo has already got their money. If you got the first part, you already spent your money, so it doesn't matter. They got the money. They can do whatever they want to. So basically, a $60 game became an $80 game. Plus, if you count the amiibo, which are $30, no, $40, the champion amiibos, which all come together, are $40 each. So you're looking at a $120 game.
That's what I was saying. If somebody forgot to count the amiibo 4.
So I mean, Nintendo made a lot of money. The people who keep on saying that Nintendo is going to go broke and they don't know. Look, they know how to make money. If Microsoft and Sony left the video game industry, Nintendo would still be able to survive because they know how to make
money. So, has any of you guys gotten Metroid Samus Returns yet?
I've gotten it. I've played about an hour of it. It's good.
Not yet.
Yeah, it's a good game. Not great. It's good. I mean, it's a remake of something that we've seen before, so I'm not really like, oh my god, this changed my life.
It's a possibility.
It plays like a amalgamation of Metroid Zero Mission and Other M combined with the basic format of
Metroid 2.
Yeah, Metroid 2. Yeah. So it's like, okay, as someone who's played Metroid 2 a lot, it has a lot of the same basic structure as Metroid 2 Return of Samus. Sorry, Samus Returns, but because it has the battles, it has like the counter and battle system of Smash of Other M, which I'm not wild about because Other M is like my least favorite Metroid game. But it's a remake of my favorite Metroid game, so I'm enjoying it. So I think
it's because the Chozo Memories, which is a new addition to the remake.
Yeah, it has.
It's hinting toward. It's hinting for a post-fusion Metroid game, as from what I've been reading.
That could be the case. Like there's 3 new additions to the game. You have these artifact things that basically weren't in the original game that give you special abilities, like you can locate hidden stuff and you can like run through certain type of crystals that would kill you and stuff like that. The Chozo Memories, and like there's some new bosses that were not in the original game. So and the whole like action finishers, which are kind of annoying. I'm personally not a big fan of them, but whatever. But yeah, not a big. I mean, look, listen, the game is good, but personally, what I'm really waiting for is that Metroid Prime 4.
I think everyone else is.
Yeah, Metroid Prime 4 is what I'm really waiting on. So when it comes, and I'll be happy. I think we've exhausted the topics. We've talked about everything, the big news of the week. We talked about Bethesda. We talked about Capcom. We talked about Rockstar. We talked about Square Enix. We talked about, PewDiePie with his dumbass. So I think it's time to wrap things up. So I guess it's time to pimp out whatever you guys want to pimp out, and then we'll wrap things up.
I've got nothing. So this is Pedophile. Be sure to visit Video Game Facts, where we talk about facts and opinions on Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, and any other company within the gamosphere. Catch you later.
All right. This is Mr. Red Fox. And I am the owner proprietor of BS Busters, and I only have one thing to say: don't play games because your friends like it, or it's popular, or everyone's playing it. If you enjoy something, play it. If you don't enjoy it, don't play it. And Jewel Rider Moonstar is here. She's currently indisposed, but a Jewel Rider Moonstar has appeared, and you threw the Pokeball, it missed, she ran away. Peace.